was like one of those.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. So what up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Well, definitely. You tune into a show we call here Chin Check. It's where we rock you guys' chin with boxing news, boxing knowledge, boxing media. And so, of course, sometimes we put money in you guys' pocket by giving you the odds of the fight. Like we did this past weekend with the Charlo fight. But this time we're going to talk more of a rumor. It's like a rumor mill kind of thing. Also, it's kind of like matchmaking. We're playing matchmaking a little bit with this Chin Check. We know that Jamal, I keep want to say Jamel. No, we know that Jamel, I'm sorry. We both know Jamel said that he wanted to reign for a little bit at 154. And it's most likely his opponent is going to be Tszyu, since that's his first mandatory up for the big fight. So that leaves Fundora and that leaves a couple other large names at 154, man, to make a name for themselves so they can get the winner of their possible Tszyu versus Jamel fight. So me and my boy Mom, we sit here and we're trying to think of, you know, what's the best opponent for, in my opinion, the guy behind them, Fundora. I think Fundora is number 3 in that group. So we trying to sit here and say, what would be the best matchup for Fundora to make a name for himself so he possibly can skip the line a little bit and get that undisputed fight with whoever wins between Tszyu and Jamel. Go ahead, tell the audience, man, who you pick and why you pick that opponent for Fundora.
Go with Hurd, man. Hurd just came out yesterday after a long layoff and being pretty much quiet, and said that his father had just passed away. Prayers for him. Well, not just passed away, but he took a break because of his father passing away, and that and during that time he gave his chance for his mind to get back together, for his body to recover, and that he said he's motivated, man, and ready to take over boxing again. So he got me to thinking, and I was saying to myself, man, the perfect matchup for Hurd, well, not the perfect matchup, but the perfect fight for both of them would be Hurd versus Fundora. I feel like Hurd is still at the crossroad at 154. He's trying to get his name back out there. He don't have time to waste. So I think fighting Fundora and him possibly winning that fight could put him back in the sweet stage for a Jamel fight. Also, Jamel has to fight Tszyu because it is a mandatory, and it'll probably be this fall from what the rumors are saying. And they also rumored that Fundora might be on that undercard again. And I think that if you're going to put somebody on undercard against Fundora, I think the perfect opponent would be Hurd, being that Hurd and Fundora's style is Gotti and Ward all over again at 154. I mean, those guys are both come forward, throw 90 to 100 punches around, and whoever got the strongest will and whoever can break who is going to win that fight. So it'll be interesting and intriguing because this is Hurd, putting it all on the line, trying to get back in the sweet state. And this is Fundora, knowing that he's probably one fight away from that pay-per-view fight that PBC is probably going to try to have next year in 2023 if Jamel can get past Tim and if Fundora can get past Hurd. So I think it'll be great, man, to link them two together again, let Hurd and Fundora fight, man, and see where it goes from there as far as who will fight Jamel next year in 2023.
Your last point is the reason why I chose the opponent for Fundora, because like you said, it's the link and it's that fight that will get into pay-per-view status. This is why I picked Harrison. I picked Harrison as the better opponent for Fundora. It's like number one and the most common or the most obvious reason why is because it's a common opponent. He just fought a common opponent in Lubin and knocked out Lubin in of course not the same fashion Jamel did. Jamel did in the first round, but he did dominate and beat up Lubin pretty bad in that fight. He did get knocked down, but he did beat up Lubin. So in my opinion, as a common opponent, we can kind of gauge where they are. I think that Harrison fight, seeing how Jamel struggled with Harrison, especially in the first fight, and how he was struggling with Harrison in the rematch. I mean, the first fight he struggled, and the second fight he was definitely struggling until he got him out of there. If Fundora can go out there and bully and beat up Harrison, bro, I think that would skyrocket him to the number 2 spot behind it by being a common opponent and by him winning. And on top of that, in my opinion, after watching Harrison's last fight, man, it's a doable task in my opinion. He can either get outboxed, in boring fashion by Harrison, or Harrison is chinny, man. Harrison is shown to be chinny. He can catch Harrison with some shit, the same shit he caught Lubin with, and get Harrison out of there. In my opinion, I think the latter. I think he could wind up catching Harrison. I think the length, the punches, the bunches, the overall pressure and all that is all bad for Harrison, man. So I think that it would be the best fight for him, in my opinion. While I do agree with the Jeff Hurd fight being an all-action war, that's most definitely Gotti Ward all day. My main concern about that fight is Harrison going? Not Harrison. It's Hurd going to be able to make that? Yeah, is Hurd going to be able to make that weight? He's been up for a long time. He's a really, really big 154. He walks around at least 180, 190. He's never been to be that size. Let's put it that
200.
way. He's never been to be that size, most definitely. So my biggest concern is, can he make that weight, and how he's gonna look before you feed him to the wolf. I think if he go in there, he gas out against somebody like Fundora, it's gonna be bad for her. There's no coming back from that point. But you need to get somebody. You need to get her somebody who maybe the Lubin. Maybe you should get a Lubin to her. In my opinion, that would be a better matchup for me for her. See that Lubin need to make his name come back, and he coming off a loss. Go ahead.
I will say one thing to your point. Jamel is a rising superstar in the sport right now. Like I said, his last fight did 832,000 viewership on Showtime, which was the biggest number in over like a year and a half, maybe longer than that. And
3 years.
3 years. 3 years. So he's on the verge of being back in that pay-per-view status. And everybody knows that Fundora fight is a pay-per-view fight for 2023. Now, the thing is, if they're willing to put Fundora in there with Hurd or Harrison, the good point that you do make, that can be made for Harrison is, if Hurd beats Fundora, I don't know if Hurd and Jamel is a pay-per-view fight still. But if Harrison beats Fundora, Harrison versus Jamel, part 3, with the bad blood in the first 2 fights and how good they were, you can sell that on pay-per-view. So no matter who wins that fight between Fundora and Harrison, you have a pay-per-view fight for 2023 in Jamel. So I will give you that point on that one.
Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. Some people say it was a lucky punch he caught Harrison with, and in my opinion, it kind of was more so Harrison throwing the showboat too much and got too cute in there, and I think that's what he got caught. But in my opinion, he was winning that second fight until he started getting careless. So yeah, like you said, it's still either way. Like you said, prayers up to Hurd, man. I hope Hurd makes a great return, man. Because you said I was a fan of his up until he started. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got too big for the weight, in my opinion. I think he needs to look more to the 160 range, because he has some good opponents at 160. He probably can dominate, and he still have a Charlo brother up there he can fight if he was really interested in trying to chase a Charlo brother. Something to think about. You got anything else to add to this topic, man?
I think we covered it all.
All right, man. With that being said, man, you've been Check. This is your boy Jay Slay, CTB, Chin Tuck Boxing. It's a peace to him, man.
All right, everybody, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, comment. Let's keep this channel growing. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace and love, and we out of here. Take care.